Doing? Cerise here. Oof, it is a rainy day, and I actually just am. I was so busy working. I'm so sorry that I'm late. I am so tired. Gracias, amor. Gracias. Okay. I'm so tired, but you know what? I made it. I kept changing the time from like 2 o'clock until now. And who do I have here? Let me put my glasses on so I can see some messages. Profe, how you doing? Happy Monday. Jay Jackson, hello. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. Um, I'm so sorry again that I'm late. There were so many things that I had to get done today. And also, I'm feeling like I just need to change where I'm sitting. Hold on one second. I'm going to bring you guys with me. It's a little hot today. Hold on. Okay, I'm at Cheers right now, and I slipped in here because I was supposed to go somewhere else to do my live to air, but I was at Velvet Cafe. And well, I got talking to Vanessa, the owner, and one thing led to the next. I swear this girl's my new sister. Her and I have met somewhere before in a past life. And so I got here and I'm like, can you guys keep the music off for a half an hour while I'm doing my live to air? And they said yes. I love Cheers Bar. Now let me just get my glasses out. So this is a special video today. A video that I think is a little overdue. And the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I've been finding a lot of the women around the world, not just here, but around the world, they are so ungrateful. And we're really losing our men. We're really losing good men. And we're being wrong to good men. I know I did a video before on simps, pimps, and predators, and it was like half joking and everything like that. But, just on a more serious level, I think us women are very hard on men. And I have been seeing it more and more to the point where it has been disturbing me. You know, like, what even prompted this video was a client of mine. She found a new boyfriend online. And she was like, oh, Cerise, you know what? He seems so perfect. But then when we got out to the restaurant, okay, he asked her, he's like, what restaurant do you want to go to? Like he's like, what restaurant? I'll pick you up and I'll take you. And she's like, she picked a really expensive restaurant. And when they had their meal, of course, she picked something on the menu that she never tried before. She couldn't even pronounce. And then she expected him to pay for that meal. Almost like he's working for dates. Now I said to her, you guys, and she complained to me. She's like, I really liked him at first. We were talking on the phone for 2 weeks because as a soul coach, I'm a soul coach, and a lot of people will contact me about relationships and stuff of that nature. So this particular woman, she's been single for a very long time. And she contacted me telling me that she met this guy and we were talking about him for about a good 2 weeks. And I have to agree. He was perfect on paper, and I still think he's perfect, and I had to really put her in check about it. So he said to her, tell me, she lives about 20 minutes out of town. He lives 20 minutes out of town the other way. So that means for him to pick her up, he had to drive 40 minutes to her, pick her up, drive 20 minutes again back into town. This is in Toronto. And then after that, drop her back off at home. And then after that, drive 40 minutes back after the date back home. And he was doing this for her, and he's spending his own gas. He wasn't asking her for any gas money or anything. They get to the expensive restaurant that she chose, and she chose the most expensive meal. Again, something she couldn't even pronounce. And then when the bill came, he said to her, and she drank. Alcohol is very expensive in Canada. $10 for a glass of wine, sometimes $13, $14. They went to an expensive restaurant, so expensive restaurant is even more expensive. And she thought he was going to pay for it all. Here she is drinking up a storm, eating up a storm, and thinking that because she's a beautiful woman and she thinks she's a good catch, he's going to pay for her. It was their first date. They were only talking on the phone for 2 weeks. He said to her when the bill came, he said, you know what, I'll pay for your food. You can pay for your drinks, right? She didn't like that. She thought he was cheap. So she was like, oh, okay, no problem. First thing she did was book a session with me for the next day. She was livid. And she's like, Cerise, he's cheap. I'm like, why? What did he do? She's like, he wouldn't even pay for anything. And I was like, what? Are you serious? He made you pay for the gas to pick him up? She's like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm like, okay. She's like, well, dinner. And I'm like, he asked you to go Dutch? Like, you had to pay for half, or he asked you to pay for his? And she was like, no, like he paid for my meal, but he made me pay for my own drinks. And I'm like, okay, but he wasn't drinking because he's not a drinker, number one. He can't drink because of his job. Number two, he's driving anyway. Why is he going to pay for her alcoholic beverages? He was taking her out for dinner. I said to her, you know what? You really need to read a page in my book. I'm writing a book right now on dating disasters and, how men can find really good women. And I told her she needs to read a page in that book when I'm finished it, because it is not his responsibility to pay for her meal at all. I honestly feel first dates should be at a coffee shop. Men work just as hard for their money as women do. Why do men have to pay for the dates? Why do men have to do all the picking up? Why do men have to do everything? And so it really disturbed me, because I was like, girl, no, you have to get out of the dark ages. You work now too. This is not like back in the 1920s where women weren't working and, they needed a man to pay for them. I'm the type of woman that if I'm going out and a man reaches in his pocket and he says, he asks for the bill, I slip 1,000 pesos on the table too. Especially even if the meal and everything, even if I didn't eat and drink, worth 1,000 pesos. 1,000 pesos is $20 here in the Dominican Republic, right? I pay for myself. And even in Canada, I did the same thing. So when this woman went off off the rails like that, complaining that this man, picked her up and took her out for dinner but didn't pay for her drinks, I thought, no. That's an ungrateful woman. And I said to her, even though she's my client, I said, if he was my client, I would have him running for the hills. I would be saying to him, no, don't get with that woman. She is a nightmare. And she was like, really, Cerise? Why? I was like, because what if you didn't like the dude at the end of the night and you go home and you're like, thanks, and you put him in the friend zone, and here he just spent over 200 and something on a meal. He doesn't make that much in one day, maybe. And if he does, a lot goes to taxes. Who is she to make him pay for her like that? So I think this is something in our society that needs to change. And you men are really getting the short end of the stick. I know a lot of you guys are like gentlemen, and your mama's taught you right. You go out, you want to wine and dine the lady, especially if she's a beautiful woman and you want more from her than just, hanky-panky. You really want a relationship. You're trying to impress her. You don't mind if she orders the most expensive tartare on the menu, because you're hoping to get another date from her. Well, this woman thought he was cheap. She liked him a lot, but was willing to throw him to the wolves because he made her pay for her own alcohol. Anyway, I made a list of things here that I'm going to get through. And I'm also going to do another video like this because it's not that I am beating up women. It's just that women need to realize that they want equality, then they need to be equal as well. They want to call the shots, they want to wear the pants, they want to do this and do that, give up the pum pum when they want to give it up, and then put that man in his place, call him a dog, call him all kinds of names and everything, but take advantage of him still. I'm going to get to it because there's a lot that I want to talk about. Hola, Cerise. Hola, amor. ¿Cómo estás? Oh, bien. Gracias a Dios. All right. Happy Thanksgiving. Let me just get some of these messages here. Deborah. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Cerise. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving from Toronto. Thank you so much, Eva. Living life golden. Where are you? I'm at Cheers Bar right now. Jackie, hello, beautiful from Toronto. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, sweetie. And then Jackie, you are such a good soul and inspiration. Thank you. I don't know. I'm speaking up for the men right now. And us women are hard on them. Okay, so then we have looking forward to December. Oh, Jackie, I am looking so forward to meeting you, girl. So thankful I have my soulmate. Aw, I'm so happy for you too. Deborah, I so agree with you. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for the support. It really means a lot because a lot of women would be right now watching this with their jaws dropped thinking, what? What are you doing, Cerise? You're like messing up the system. And no, I'm not. Guys, I encourage you, if you're on a first date with a woman, always go meet them at a coffee shop or meet them for drinks, not for dinner. If you want to meet them at a very beautiful cafe or expensive restaurant, tell them, say, let's meet for drinks. Don't say, oh, let's go out for dinner. That's old school stuff. You don't need to be doing that any longer. You can say, let's go out for a drink. And you tell the woman, let's go out. We'll go for a drink, half an hour, and if it's working out and you're enjoying her company and you can feel she's enjoying your company, then just say to her, you know what, I'd love to take you out for dinner at another time. How about we just go down to this burger shop right here and get a couple of burgers for now, and then next time we go out, I'll take you out for a nice dinner, right? You don't work for dates. You work to pay your bills. So don't have my nails done today. Really don't feel like drinking wine today. I think I just got it on a whim. Amor? 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 It's okay. Este para llevar, por favor. Y yo quiero otro beber de ella. Gracias. Okay, it's a little dark in here, so I'm going to need my glasses, but I am going to get down, hola, to the nitty gritty. Oh, they're putting some music on. I might have to cut this off and hold on one second. You know what? Let me go over to another table and see if the music is going to affect anything. Because can't play music in the background when I'm on a live to air. Let me see. Hold on. Sorry about all this moving around, guys. Hi. I'm good. I'm going to go over to the other table so the music's not too loud for my live to air. That's okay. You can play it.
Sorry.
Hola, amor. Okay. It might even be better over here, guys. I might be able to read better over here. Might even be able to read. Here we go. Let me see. Can you guys hear the music? They're going to be turning it up even louder. Woo! Whew, look at, I'm so sweating. It's so hot. Hold on. I'm just looking at my notes right here that I made. I'm serious about this video. I'm like, this video, I when I get something into my head and I'm like, thinking about it for a while. Here we go. All right. Can you guys hear the music in the background? Maynard, how you doing? Teddy, you are going to ruffle some feathers. Oh, I know, Teddy. Jackie, we have fought so hard for equal rights, so women should not belittle themselves. That's it. Jay Jackson, it'll never change. That's the norm now in the dating scene. We have to make it change. Teddy, oh, thank you so much. Guys are catching on, Cerise. Thank you. Deborah, yes. You can hear the music in the background? Hold on one second. I'll just tell them that because I'll plug them. And they can, let me see. Oh, hold on. No, gracias. Hold on one second. Done. The music sounds good though, I won't lie. I always love a good music vibe. But if worse comes to worse, I will get on a motor concho and I will head over to Flip Flop. And you just got to give me like 15 minutes or I'll just go home. I'll just go home because I just live down the street. It's just I just wanted to duck in here quickly. Hold on. And I'm so sorry. It's just that the music will flag the video, right? And then the video will not get pushed. YouTube feels like if they can't monetize the video, then they're not going to push the video. And I want this. Usually for me, I don't mind because, I'll be at karaoke and everything and I don't care if a video gets flagged. But I don't want this one to get flagged because I really have a lot to say in this one and I really want to stick up for the men. I really want the men to feel that love, that's so important, really. It's just out of hand, really, at the end of the day. Hold on one second. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do, because there is a crowd here and the crowd's coming in and it is 6 o'clock almost, dinner time, and to expect them to turn off the music just so I can do a live tear is not really fair. Right? I would want to hear music at this time during the evening if I'm here for a drink too, right? So let me just give me 15 minutes. Let me go home. I'm packing up my stuff right now. Let me go home and I will definitely, or maybe I can just walk down the street. Oh, Jackie, thank you, sweetheart. Oh, thank you so much for the contribution. So yeah, let me just go down the street and go home. I'm thinking with 3 different brains right now because I'm like, oh, maybe I can tell them to turn the music off. And then I'm like, no, I can't because that's not cool. And then I'm like, no, I can't. Hola, hola. Oh, hey, how are you? Very nice to meet you. Yeah, thank you. Do you want to come say hi on camera? I was just about to leave. Here we go. Hi. These guys are princes. There's Sharon and twins.
Yeah, twins. Karen and Sharon
from
Pittsburgh.
Karen and Sharon.
We listen to Cerise all the time, and we love her, and we came here because of Cerise.
Right. Oh, thank you.
And we just left Casa Linda, and oh my God, she was right about that restaurant.
Really?
Yes.
Did you guys go to Velvet Cafe? No. Okay, so 2 other ladies went there.
Oh, okay.
You guys went to Goddess Lounge and
the code.
Pirates.
Yeah.
Aw, you guys are awesome.
Everything on our list, so we're gonna check it off and we're gonna do it.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Before you, we're gonna meet up with you again and give it to you, okay?
Oh, okay. Tomorrow I'm going to be at Velvet Cafe if you guys can pass by for karaoke in the evening.
6 o'clock.
Okay.
6 o'clock, I'll be there.
Can I
There's
see you a drink
karaoke.
with wine?
Oh, I'm gonna be leaving right now, actually.
Oh, okay.
But thank you.
All right, next
Tomorrow, if you guys show up tomorrow.
will.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I would love to see you guys.
Okay.
Thank
Nice
you,
meeting
ladies.
you.
Okay, you as well. Thank you.
How awesome was that? Oh my gosh, that was great. Okay, can you guys still hear the music? Because if you can't hear the music, I'll just stay right here. Aw, thank you. Let me know if you can hear the music. Oh, thank you. I might stay, guys.
Can you? Is it? Amor? Amor? Can you call Domingo for me, please? Se llama Domingo para mí, por favor. Gracias.
Well, they just brought me a drink, so I might as well just finish this. Not the ladies, but the staff just brought me my other drink. My gosh, I'm hot. So I'll just do a small version of it. But it was so nice to meet those ladies. So, Camilla, you're glad you don't drink.
Amor. Domingo, can you turn the music down just a little bit? Yeah, because, oh,
Thank you so much. Oh, wow. He was like, yeah, of course. All right. So now I don't have to leave. Now I can just sit here and talk to you guys as I read my notes. Because I got some notes and I'm going in on the women today. I am tired of the women treating the men the way they are treating them. Some of you men may not mind. Some of you men are like, oh, Cerise, it's okay. They're women. And you guys were raised like that. I don't know. I made some notes for those women that don't know how to appreciate a good man. Now, of course, there's always that fine line. You know what I mean? The fine line is there are men that don't deserve a good treatment. And then, of course, there's that fine line where some women treat men so good that they treat them too well, and those men don't deserve it. Right? But let's get down to this right now. I have a page and a half of notes. Okay, so first of all, one of my things is the men, they work 8 to 10 to 12 to sometimes 18 hours a day, right? And women will be like, he has no time for me. But even before he has no time for her, the woman wants him to make sure that he has money in his bank, no debt, wonderful car, always looking good, possibly a condo or a house, not living with his mom. And the woman knows how expensive things are these days. She's not crazy. She's not living in some secluded part of the world. She's living in the same area as he is, usually. So here she is taking the bus. Here she is, still paying off her student loan. Maybe even has a couple of children. And, only thing she has going for her is she's beautiful. So she thinks because she's beautiful, it's okay. Sometimes they make way less money, but their standards are so high that, these men deal with it. And it has become such the norm for men to go get a really pretty woman and expect nothing from her except for her to look good. And then what happens when, they are together and all of a sudden, they're engaged? She wants the biggest diamond. And she doesn't care if he has to pay off that diamond all the time, gracias, for years. She don't care. And then she also wants the biggest house or the best furniture. And then when she gets pregnant, she wants him to help her with the baby around the house, while he's trying to pay off that ring, pay off that car, pay off that house or condo, and then she starts asking for a cottage. These are things in our society that we women have been getting away with for years, because the fabric of our society has not been changing. And so when women come to me and contact me and they're like, Cerise, he's cheap. He expected me to pay for my own meal. Well, yeah, Maybe he's paying off his BMW. You know, I or they'll say, oh, he has a secondhand car. So what? Any man that, or he doesn't have a nice car. Well, maybe his payments aren't that much. He could have a BMW and be broke because he's trying to ball and just can't afford it. He better just go get himself a nice Chevrolet, live in his mom's basement, and save money and buy cryptocurrency. You know, the meal that he could have taken you out with for like 200, 300, 400 bucks that night, he could invest that into crypto. And then you have a man that is on the ball in the future. Ladies, you got to stop looking at materialistic things. You want a Gucci, you want a Chanel bag, you want these really expensive, the best leather shoes, you want your hair done, you want your nails done. Listen, my nails aren't done today and I feel naked. But the last time I went to a salon to get my nails done was about, my gosh, maybe 2 years ago. I don't think I've ever gotten my nails done here before, actually, and I've been here for over 3 years. Hey, Ken. And a man definitely doesn't pay for that. I paint my own nails. My nails are always painted, and I enjoy picking out all the different colors. I enjoy going to the Chinese tienda here and buying all the little fingernail filers and, all the little nail charms and everything. It's fun. Sometimes when I'm watching TV, I put my glasses on and I just do my nails. It's great. If you don't know how to do them, watch a YouTube video. If you need acrylic nails, then go get yourself a nice acrylic kit off Amazon, right? So a lot of men, they work very hard and they're working for their woman, right? And then after they get married, they're working for their children. A lot of women will say, well, I work too at home. That's your own business, girl. You are making your own hours. And if you are keeping your house clean, then that means your stuff should be done by noon. You wake up in the morning, you have the kids, and if your kids are screaming and crying and unruly, that's because you're not raising them right. You need to discipline those kids. 101. Discipline 101 from the Bible. Read it. And you need to understand that this is a society in our world where you are allowing your kids to act up and take temper tantrums. Those are the same children that are going to go out in society, and people are not going to love them because no one's going to put up with those kids the way you do. People will not like it. So, you're doing yourself an injustice by allowing your children to act up. And then if you're getting frustrated with them and you can't handle them all day, and then when the husband gets home and you want him to take over after he already had to leave, he had to commute to go to work. Here he is in the car or the subway or the bus or maybe even walking, maybe whatever. He had to commute, and he didn't only have to commute and rush to get to work, but he has to deal with all the energy in the road with everybody else who's driving and commuting early in the morning. Not only that, when he gets to work, he has to work with coworkers. He has to work with unhappy customers and maybe even just a tyrannical boss. There's so many things that your husband has to deal with from the moment he leaves the house that you are not even aware of. And sometimes men don't talk about it because sometimes they don't want to complain, especially when they get home. You want me to move? Yeah, sure. So, you have to keep in mind that once your husband leaves the house, he doesn't know, you don't know what's going on in his life. And on top of that, he doesn't know what's going on in your life. I know, but that's not what this is about, because we've heard enough about the women that say, you don't know what my day is like at home when raising the kids, and I have to cook and I have to clean and I have to deal with the children. Those are your children, number one. And that is your home, number two. Number three, it should be your pleasure to clean your home, because cleanliness is next to godliness, and a clean home is beautiful to sit in. And the cleaner you keep it, the cleaner it will be, and the less you have to clean it each day. You get your kids on a schedule and they will not be rambunctious. Feed them proper foods with less sugars, less processed foods, and they will be cool cats. I never had a problem with my kids at home acting up. I just say, hey, just one word, hey. And my kids would be like, yes, mommy. Respect. My mom was the same way, and so was my dad. Respect it goes such a long way. Discipline, food, and love are what children need. So if you are one of those mums and you're like, the kids are bad, never call your children bad. Always look at the way you're raising them. A child's behavior reflects the mother and the father's discipline or lack thereof. So your husband, here he is traveling early in the morning. He's commuting. He has to deal with traffic, and then he gets to work. He has to deal with customers. If he doesn't have customers, and he has co-workers, and he has bosses, and then not only that, he may not be making enough money. He may be worrying about you, worrying about the children, and then he has to commute all the way back home during rush hour to get home to you, to help you out at home. And here you are texting him all day talking about the kids are being bad, or especially during COVID. Like, I know a lot of you moms had your kids at home, and I can't speak on that because I know that could be frustrating, right? Especially if you have a few kids. I understand that, but they're your kids and you have to keep them busy. And you're treating your man wrong if you're contacting him all day while he's at work, texting him. Now we have text, right? We have access to our men constantly, right? So, and if the man doesn't answer his wife, then he's in trouble. He could be in trouble with his boss, and then he gets back to his desk or he gets back to his phone, whatever, and he sees a message from his wife and she's going off, and he's like, oh gosh. Men are very pressured in society, and a lot of them are going through depression, and they don't even talk about it the way that us women do. And a lot of them don't feel comfortable talking about it, and the reason why is because they feel that, number one, they're not allowed to. They feel like, oh, they will be, considered weak. That's not true. There are 6 different personality types in this world. There is alpha, there is beta, there is gamma, there is delta, there is omega, and there is sigma. And each of us are different, okay? Not every man is an alpha. And if you are a woman looking for an alpha man, a man that's just going to be like a Fred Flintstone, they don't exist in every personality. You need to understand the personality of your man, and you need to understand that that man is not always going to be there at your beck and call. You need to take care of your man. And then I'm getting off course here because I have a lot of notes right here, but this is all coming at the top of my head because I know I don't have a lot of time because they're going to be having a special here tonight with the music and everything, and I don't want to hold anyone back. But I do want to say, on top of that, the man gets home and you don't want to give him any nookie. You're tired, or he didn't answer your text on time, or he didn't eat your food and tell you that it was good. And you don't take the time to make yourself look pretty sometimes. You just put your hair up all the time. And then when you do go out with him, like maybe you guys have a special date night, and you do go out with him, he appreciates you so much because he's like, oh, sweetheart, you look so beautiful. You did your hair and your nails and your makeup. It is your responsibility as a woman to allow your man to enjoy himself in your bosoms. It is written in the Bible. That man and you got together, and that's what that man wants. He's working hard all day long. He needs a release. When he goes home, he wants to feel a little bit something. You can't just turn around and be like, oh, I have a headache. Or I was with the kids all day. No, that man worked hard. Now, that's just housewives I'm on. If you are a woman that works, I got a whole other mouthful for you. You might be like, you feel like a single mother. You're not a single mother. I was a single mother at age 17, okay? And then again at 23, okay? And both of my kids are amazing, okay? Well, obviously my daughter was raised with a 17-year-old mom. That had to be hard for her. But, and I'm pretty sure it reflects in some ways. But both of my kids are intelligent. Both of my kids are bright. Both of my kids are amazing. They're not an embarrassment to me in society. Okay, when you discipline your kids right and you raise them right, they will never be an embarrassment to you in society. And I think that is the success of a child. Anyone can go out there and get a really good job. It really, or a really good education or anything of that nature. I think character is the most important thing that you can give to your children. Teach them how to behave. And so anyway, let me see here. Oh yeah, and then you complain. You don't give your husband anything, and then you complain when he cheats on you. Oh, he's a dog. Meanwhile, you didn't give him any nookie for like, you know, a month or for 2 weeks. Men are just beings that love intimacy when it comes to that. Some of them don't need some of them don't need a whole lot of it. Some of them just require a little something something for 5 minutes. That's it. And if you guys are married and he knows already how you are, he's really going to appreciate the little that you do give. Just a little bit. Break it off. Tiny bit. You can say to him, listen, I'm tired right now, babe, but let me just please you a little bit. Like, we don't need to do a whole session, 20-minute session, but, let me break you off a little bit, right? And if he takes advantage of it and he's trying to get more and more out of it, then I understand that because, you could be really tired. But anyway, back to you working ladies. I was a single mom. And so, yes, I had 2 children. I can remember when I was a very young mom. And one morning I had to take 2 buses with both of my children to my son's daycare, and then 2 buses back with my daughter, drop my daughter off at her school, and then take 1 bus to my school, to my university. Okay, and then at the end of the day, take 1 bus, 2 buses all the way to pick up my son, and then I had someone pick up my daughter after school. And then I had to go home and cook and clean, prepare lunches for the next day, and then clothes for 3 people, and then also read books, prepare my children. My daughter, her bedtime stories were my study books. Okay, because I would read my study books. My daughter is one of the most intellectual people that I know right now. Like, she can read a book like nobody's business. She can write a book like nobody's business, because that is exactly that was the hustle. And I still threw in dates here and there, and my mom helped me out a lot. Their dads did not. Well, my daughter's dad, 2 different dads. My daughter's dad helped me out a lot. I think you can get the gist of what I'm saying here. I hustled, okay? And so when I hear women right now saying, oh, he's only giving $1,200 for child support this month, I received zilch, okay, from the fathers. Zilch. And one father, he decided to start giving $100 a month because he had to, okay? And that's the truth, Ruth. So when I hear women complaining about certain things that the fathers are doing, are not doing, and you have to appreciate it. If you have a good man, you have to appreciate it when your man goes home and all he wants to do is see you, and all he wants to do is see the kids. He doesn't want to hear the nagging. He doesn't want to hear you putting him down, emasculating him, telling him he needs to make more money, telling him you make more money than him, and he doesn't help you. He doesn't really know how to help you around the house, because if you are an alpha female, you got it, and he probably doesn't know what to do or how to do it. Okay, so he probably is maybe even just a little confused if he's not an alpha male and you are an alpha female. Direct your man. Tell your man, like, baby, can you go wash those dishes? Like, women will say, I hate telling him what to do. How is he supposed to know if you don't tell him? Some men really don't know. Some men do need direction. If you look up ancient Egypt, it was called Kemet, Kemet. Okay, ancient Egypt was where the women were the rulers. It was a matriarch society. And in that matriarch society, it was quite interesting. Hold on one second.
Joe, good damn. Por favor. Por favor.
I'm telling these guys, turn down music, please. It's like all I can hear is, say you, say me. And now I'm in the middle of my rant, so I'm not about to go home right now. Oh my gosh, there's so many messages here. Let me see. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to get back to these. Um, okay. And never love. What? So why are you about Dominican men? They don't want to work and only use you. That's not true. How could you say that about all men in one thing? That's ignorance right there. That's ignorance. I know a lot of Dominican men. I met one today that has his wife, and they've been married for 10 years, and they have a wonderful family and a business together. And I'm not only about Dominican men, actually. I've dated Dominican men, but I'm open to any type of a man. I can't read these messages right now, because here you are taking the opportunity to put down a whole entire culture just because of your ignorance. Listen, let me tell you something right now. I'm talking about something else. I'm not talking about Dominicans. I'm talking about women, and I'm talking about how they expect to be taken out somewhere and treated like a queen just because they're beautiful, or just because they gave up a little bit to that guy. You know what I mean? Come on now. Let me go down to the women. They want more money, they want more time, they want more house help around the house, they want more recognition. They have to have that man to have a good car, good and bank account stacked with stuff. Again, like I said, the expensive ring. They want so much, and they are not willing, if the tables were turned, for them to do the exact same thing. Okay, my mother used to be my dad's partner. And so when I'm here, when I was with Dominican men, I had a couple of Dominican boyfriends. They gave me all their time. They were with me constantly, and if they weren't with me, they were working, and their income was $10 a day, 500 pesos for the day, and they were working 8-hour shifts. So why wouldn't I pay for everything? That $10 is not going anywhere, right? That $10 is doing what? It's taking away from what we could be doing together. So I said, come work with me. Come work with me. And I mean, that $10, I can pay that no matter what, and we can chill together. You know what I mean? It's not a problem. So let me tell you, this is not about Dominicans, so let me not get into that. This is about men being taken advantage of. And there are a lot of good women out there who give to their men. And they love their men so much. And the men appreciate it. They get home, they rub their ladies' feet, they rub their ladies' back. The lady gives her husband rubs, and they have a beautiful foundation, a relationship where two people become one, right? The woman is not nagging her husband. Where are you? When are you coming home? Who are you with? There's nothing of that. There's just, hey, baby, you're a little late. Are you okay? And the husband's like, yeah, and then he opens up to her. The traffic is this, the traffic is that, and he's not being mean to her. You have to treat people the way you want to be treated. And when we, as women, start treating the men wrong, we lose them. Here in the Dominican Republic, I see some men come here and they are amazing. They wine and they dine these ladies. There are some kings here. Yes, there's ballers. Yes, there's simps. Yes, there's, guys that are predators. Yes, I'm not talking about all those guys. Okay, just like I'm not talking about the ladies that know how to treat their men. I'm targeting a certain specific mindset right now. And those are the women that don't appreciate their men. Their men are trying so hard. Their men are putting their best foot forward, and they're saying, listen, baby, I'm making as much money as I can, working as many hours as I can, trying to buy you the best car. And you know what? They put themselves in debt because they're trying to offer their woman the world while they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. If you guys watched before, it was like about 3 years ago, I guess, or 2 years ago, I'm not sure, Chris Watts. He ended up killing his whole family, his wife and everything, wife and 2 children, because he found a woman that he only knew for like 2 months And he found a woman that made him feel excited inside. He thought he could get rid of his family just like that. And nobody was going to question him. Like, I'm not laughing because he did it. I'm laughing because it was so idiotic. Why didn't he think of divorce? So, you can only make yourself look bad. Your best friend is your right hand. It's my wife, Dominican. What you talk makes no sense of talk. It's like no sense. Like what you do and what you talk makes no sense. Ali Mancito, please. If it makes no sense, then just relax. Ryan, I am the dream alpha man. Beautiful. Ali Mancito, how about we do this? If you're not enjoying this video, you can X off. It's not about you. If you have a good woman and you're married to a good woman and you're loving her, I think that's amazing. Let the women speak up. Hold on. You're just... Hold on one second. Hold on. I can't read all these messages right now, guys. I am so hot. And Korea says, I'm married to one and he works every day. He takes care of home, good father, husband, and house and dad. And I bet you that you're a good woman. I just sense that you're a good woman. This guy. So, guys, let me just get to the bottom of these. There we go. Had to put Ali Mancito in a timeout. I didn't block you, dude, but you're just taking up the whole entire thread here. And what you're saying, and you're putting people down and stuff like that, it's not really what this whole entire conversation is about. The conversation is pretty much about women that understand men. And those women that don't understand men, you're losing a good man. I'm sure you're a good woman, especially a real beautiful woman that is willing to work and put in what hers is. Thanks, Jackie. What hers is, two people working together. That's amazing. Like Jackie, for instance, right? A nurse. I'm pretty sure you have worked some long hours. When you get home, you're probably tired. Your husband looks forward to seeing you when you get in. You guys are coming here on vacation together. You guys have been working towards that vacation together. You have a good man. You're a good woman. And no relationship is perfect. No relationship is 100% on point all the time. And no woman is perfect and no man is perfect. But when women think that every man is an alpha male, and they expect that man to take care of everything, and she's just complaining most times, it's not good. So when it comes to dating, okay, like a lot of women, they don't want to go Dutch. Now, I'm not talking about a woman like here in the Dominican Republic. I'm not talking about that, okay? They make very little money, and the same thing with the men. I'm talking about North America culture, okay? I'm talking about people that are working towards being together in a very healthy relationship. It's tough. And a lot of the men, Rander, thanks for throwing away the clown. Thank you. But I'm not talking about the Dominican women and Dominican men. This is a different culture, and this is tough for them. Here, it's an economical crisis. It's not something to do with anything else, because if Dominicans were to make money the way Americans would, there are a lot of Dominican women that would work closely with her man, very closely with her man, the same way as an American or a Canadian woman. I see some women here, Dominican women, hold it down. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a woman that is like the perfect scenario, a woman that is working, making her own money. She's living in like North America, America or Canada, or United States or Canada. She makes a good paycheck and she has a really nice car, money in her bank, very little debt, if not any at all. No children, well raised, educated, fun loving, very disciplined with her life, perfect body, beautiful, the greatest catch you could ever have. Okay, and she's a boss, right? Of course, she wants a man that's going to match her. She's not going to want to have to take care of a man, right? But she's not going to sit there and wait and judge him on their first date if he doesn't pay for her, because she's going to have her own pride and she's going to be like, no, 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 you don't have to pay for me. I didn't come out for a free dinner. I came out to get to know you. They get to know each other, and the next date, she's not even looking to go to a restaurant. She's inviting him over to her place. Maybe not that soon, but you get what I mean. She's like, you know what? Come on over. Let me cook for you, because she's also a good cook. And then they watch a really good movie together. As they watch a movie together, he lays on her lap. She rubs his head, or vice versa. He gives her a little foot massage, or they're chilling together. They're getting to know each other. She's not trying to take advantage of him, his money, and she's not basing what he spends on her as what his character is. Sometimes men are saving money and they're very smart. I had an ex-boyfriend before who, he would, like, every time he came to my place to visit me, he would bring bread. I don't eat bread, and he knew it, right? He would bring bread and milk, and I don't drink milk either. And he would bring grapes. I love grapes. He would bring popcorn. I love popcorn. And he would also bring, what else would he bring? Oh, sardines. And this may sound crazy to some people. The first time when he brought it, I was like, what's that for? A whole grocery order? I was like, I don't eat bread. I don't drink milk. And he's like, that's okay. I like to make sandwiches. He brought stuff to make himself a sandwich. He didn't expect me to cook for him. He said to me, he's like, you know what? Just keep the bread. You can freeze it. When I come, I'll put it in the microwave and I'll make a sandwich for myself. He's like, the grapes are for you. I know you like grapes. And it was so sweet. And for me, I was like, wow, okay, that's different. And I think if more people did that in our society, a man just take over a few treats. We don't need Gucci bags. We don't need perfumes. We can buy that for ourselves if we are a self-maintained woman. It's okay to be high maintenance. Like, I'm not saying to the women, don't be high maintenance. No way. Trust me, I loved my Gucci bags back in the day, and I have a Chloe bag with me right now, right? I love leather purses. Like, very rare will I walk around with a plastic purse, right? But I just don't, right? But a man didn't buy it for me. And I just think to have a Louis Vuitton purse, let me see, brother from another mother says, oh, Jackie says, yes, I have, hun. Yes, you see, brother from another mother says relationships are a two-way street. There must be respect and communication, no games. That's right. Yo says there's no chilling in Sosua. You're in Sosua to buy or sell. I'm not talking about Sosua in this video. Elvia, blessings to you, sweetie. Line Gagnon. Hi, I had this before. I lost him 11 months ago from a heart attack. Miss him terrible. It was the Dominican, the best. Yes, I have to tell you, good men are hard to find. They really are. And I think good people in general are hard to find. I hear often, oh, you can't find this, you can't find that. And Sosua is a tourist town. Women come here to get a tourist, and a tourist comes here to get a beautiful Barbie doll. You pay for what you want. You're not going to find a lot of women in Canada or America looking like half the girls here and treat you the way that they do here. You know, you find a woman here, she's beautiful, she's young, she looks like a Barbie doll, and she will treat you like a king in the bed, and she will also be your girlfriend for the time that you're here. That's a fantasy. It's like the girlfriend experience, right? It's a fantasy that you're paying for. But I'm talking about relationships, and I'm not talking about Sosua. I'm talking about like this client that messaged me, and she wanted to get rid of a good man all because he wouldn't pay for her drinks. But meanwhile, he paid for her expensive meal. I asked her, I said, okay, well, he paid for your meal. What was your meal? She's like, I don't know, I can't pronounce it. And I laid into her, but now she gets it. She understands it. She's told me she's going to be watching this video. And I just want to say, ladies, let's not lose our good men. Like, let's inspire our good men. Even when our men are not being all that, I would say let's encourage them even more. Some men, you tell them, can you put out the garbage, babe? And the garbage doesn't get put out. There could be so many reasons why. He gets into the game, or, you know, he gets into something, like, you know, he falls asleep, he's so tired. If you can go put out that garbage, go put it out yourself. And you just say to him, babe, I put the garbage out and it really didn't feel good, especially when I asked you and you couldn't do it. I think it's a little disrespectful. Please don't make me do that again. You know, you don't need to be like, I told you to put the garbage out. You didn't put the garbage out, blah, blah, blah. And it just becomes a whole fuss and fight that really is unnecessary at the end of the day. Us women, we are amazing. And we have to remind ourselves of that. We can't belittle ourselves. Now, ancient Egypt, Kemet, it was a matriarch society. And in the matriarch society, women told men when to go out to the fields to do the harvest. Men, other than that, were like sitting around. Women, they didn't even, they thought women were gods. They were like, oh my gosh, this woman could bleed for 7 days and not even die. She can have a child in her belly for 9 months and create life. They thought that the women were magic. They didn't realize that it was their sperm that helps to make the baby at all, until, of course, science proved that that's exactly what it is. So they would listen to the women like they were all beta, all weak males, right? And they went out to the fields and they were told when to do something. And women, it was a matriarch society, and men rarely did the work. The women did everything. Now, it turned to a patriarch society after that, and it's been a patriarch society for a while, and now women want to get back to matriarch society, or at least equality. Then you can't have both. If you are a woman and you're making your money and you're doing it, then do it. Let your man follow you. Don't call him weak if he's following you. Appreciate it, especially if he's not giving in to the desires of his coworker. Some of you women, you don't break off anything for your husband. When he gets home, he wants a little release, and you're like, no, I'm tired. And so he goes and he does his little job in the bathroom, right? You know what I mean? And then he goes to work the next day, and there's a woman there, the secretary or boss or coworker, and she's like, he's a good man. And she can hear him, you know, like maybe answering your text messages while you're cussing him out on your voice note, or, you know, she hears your voice notes on his work phone, your messages, and she can hear like you railing off on him, and she can see how good he's working and how much he talks about you when he's at work. My wife this, my wife that. And he's not complaining about you. But every call you give him, you're complaining about him and to him. And then there's that young girl just waiting to get him because she knows that it's not going to last very much longer, because nobody can put up with that for very much. And then all of a sudden he cheats because he gives into the passion. He gives into the arms of a younger woman that's appreciating him for who he is and recognizes what he's doing. And he's vulnerable. And then what happens? He feels bad. He doesn't want to go to her sometimes. He just wants to stay with his wife, and then it ruins the relationship. How can you go back to normal from that? It gets even worse most times, because now, not only, aside from you always complaining and being rough and tough and all that stuff, you are also now insecure. Gracias. You are now insecure because of what he did. But that can be fixed, and that could be all avoided just by giving your man love, just by giving him a little bit of attention, just by saying to him, you know what, babe, I understand it. I understand where you're coming from. Don't yell at your man all the time. Don't scream at him. Don't act like you are the mother. These men have mothers. Have I ever heard any woman yell at my son? Like, I would, look, I would be too upset. I'd be like, who does she think she is yelling at my child? I wouldn't be like, who does she think she is yelling at her husband? I'd be like, that's my son, and it's true. I mean, when you are angry at your man, you may have reason. You may have reason. This video is not to beat up on you. All I'm saying is, imagine when you're speaking to him that a whole entire television station is videoing you. Speak to him the same way you would if you are in public or if you are in person. Don't call your man stupid. Don't call your man dumb. Don't, even if it's cute, even if it's cute, be like, oh, you're so stupid. Why would you call anyone stupid? Like, you can say silly, I guess, like, oh, you're so silly, but you can't be like, oh, that was dumb. Why are you doing that? Like we don't need to call people names in society, especially the ones that we sleep in bed with. Men are very sensitive. Men are very sensitive. I would say even much more sensitive than the average woman. Women are emotional. Yes, we are. We have our emotions, and we can go up and down. But I think I'm going to go over there with those ladies just before I go home. I told them I was leaving and didn't end up leaving. But I just want to say, treat your man with the respect that you would want him to treat you with. If you're out with him and, you do something and he says to you, oh, you're so stupid, you don't got a good man. And you may have to reevaluate your relationship, right? If you are reflecting him because he's calling you certain names and you're like, well, I call him those names because he calls me those names, then that is not the man for you. That may be the man that you need to disconnect from. Now, I'm not saying go get divorced and everything, because that doesn't help either. You might need to go talk to a counselor. Calling each other names is not ever good. But I find that a lot of women will in society. Here, I see women be pampered. Men will come from America and they will bring gifts for the women. And the women appreciate very, 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 even little things. A cream, bras. They appreciate things. And they'll be like, oh, papi, gracias. Like I said, I'm not talking about the Dominican Republic. I'm talking about America and Canada. But here I see a lot of gratefulness. Like, they would never be like, oh my gosh, he got me the tiniest diamond. They would be like, oh my gosh, he got me a ring. And they'll show the ring, and it's beautiful in their heart, you know? And men try harder when they are encouraged. When you are putting your man down, he's not going to try harder. Nobody in this world is going to try harder. You're not his boss. But when you lift him up, when you encourage him, when you inspire him, he feeds off that beautiful energy, and he's fueled by that energy. And then what? It adds fuel to the fire, and then you guys become a beautiful fire together, and you guys can burn down a city together, you know, because you guys are as one. But a man, in the Bible, it says this: a woman that nags a lot is like a dripping faucet, okay, that you can't turn off. It's like drip, 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 drip. A woman that nags, drip, 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 drip. That's what it says in the Bible. And it also says about a woman that nags a lot, it is better for a man to take his morsel of food and eat it in the corner of a house alone than to feast at the table. You understand that? A morsel of food just so he can be alone away from the nagging, because it's not cool. So women, if you're looking for a man, you know, and sí, amor, gracias. Una más, por favor. I thought I was gonna leave, but I'm gonna come over and join you guys in a second. What's that? Okay, I'll try one. Are they sweet? Some special that the girl makes here. You want that? Okay, sure. Okay, I'll tell her. Okay, gracias. Ella habla contigo. Una más. Gracias. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go over with. I'm gonna be right over there. I thought I was leaving, but they so nicely turned the music off. Aw, thank you. I'm looking forward to chilling with these ladies for a minute too, because they have been Sharon and Princess. They are always on the live feed. Look at me, gee, I'm all shiny today. I ran here. I just want to say, guys, you know, it's important. Jackie says, anyway, girl, you are wise beyond your years, seeing as you're younger than me. Laugh out loud. Have to sign out. I love you, girl. You go, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. Retirement in December. I didn't know you're retiring, babes. Yo, you hit it. A good woman inspires a man. The rest are a dime a dozen. Jackie, good people are hard to find, girl. You will be a blessing for someone one day. Good night, babes. Big Dave, I love how women think garbage is our duty. I agree, which is fine if you're a woman willing to have her role. Some men do it, all the cooking, and women don't contribute, thinking they are queen. Oh, that's a word. That's a word, queen. I don't like when men throw that word, the queen, around to just anyone because he's attracted to her. You know, my dad did all the cooking. My dad did all the cleaning. My dad did all the braiding of the hair, and he had to teach my mother how to braid hair, okay? My dad was a Rastafarian, and we get our kinky hair from him. And my mom didn't know how to braid when she met my dad, and she had 4 daughters, and my mom didn't know what to do. My dad did our hair, okay? My dad would braid my hair and braid my sister's hair, and then my mom learned, you know, my mom did learn, and then she would braid my 2 younger sisters' hairs, you know, and my dad taught her. My dad did all the cooking. My dad did the laundry. My mom did a lot of working, and she did most, like, she was the breadwinner. My mom was the breadwinner. My dad was like business owner, and he was like an upholsterer. So, you know, I mean, you know, sometimes he was between jobs. It was tough. But when you're doing your own business, you don't always have the income. If he had a steady flow of clients constantly, he would definitely have been the breadwinner for sure. But my mom was the one with the steady income because she was working a 9 to 5. But she didn't mind. When she got home, the food was cooked and the laundry was done. And my dad always made sure that the house was clean. My mom would never get home to a dirty house if he didn't have clients that day, if he wasn't doing any furniture that day. Okay, now of course he wasn't a perfect husband. Maybe my mom wasn't the perfect mother. Well, I don't know. Perfect wife. I don't know. I can't say that because what I remember, my mom was the perfect wife. She was the perfect mother. But I think she was the perfect wife because she never stressed my dad out to have the best car. My dad always made sure he fixed the car. We had 2 cars, and they were secondhand cars growing up. They weren't brand new cars. We had a Monte Carlo, and we also had, at one point, another one. I forget right off the top of my head now. Oh, Meteor Mercury, way, way, way back in the day. But when we had 2 cars together at once, it was a Nova, and gracias, amor. Sí, yo no necesito 2 straws. Sí, uno es good. Gracias. Ella pagar para este. Okay, gracias. Sorry, guys. She's just shaking the table a little bit. Gracias. That's okay. So, yeah, a good man is one that understands that he needs to take care of his wife, not just take the garbage out. You are 100% right with that. I was raised with a man, an alpha male. And there were times in my life where I would meet a man, and if he wasn't an alpha male, I'd be like, why aren't, the car stopped? The car broke down. Why aren't you getting out and lifting up the hood and taking the dipstick and looking to see how much oil is in it? Why aren't you trying to figure out the starter? Why can't you do this? And then I realized, wait, he's not an alpha male, number one. And wait, he wasn't raised like I was. So I get out of the car and I lift up the hood. Yeah, true story. True story. I know a little thing or two about cars, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Us women should not be sitting around always expecting men to do everything. Do a little something ourselves as well. Big Dave said, yeah, the duty. Some men love cooking. That's right. Creative gaming. I can tell a lot of men never had a good woman. So it's hard to know what to look for. Ooh, that's very deep. I'm going to get back to that one. You're right. Big Dave, if you want to be treated like a queen, you need to treat your man like a king. That's right. It's all I'm saying. That's right. Yo, yayo. In the Bible, it says a woman is but a mere rib of a man. Well, I'm going to get to that too. Creative gaming, just because you are not Dominican. Just because not Dominican. Let me see what you said. I can tell a lot. I don't understand what you meant there, but this is not about Dominicans, actually. This is about North Americans. Coming from a rib, what that means is we are to help our men. We are to help our men. We are to understand our man. If our man comes to us with an idea, we should never say, oh, that's stupid. That's not going to happen. That's not going to work. No, even if it's the craziest idea, support him. Support him. I had an ex that he had a really good business idea, right? And I like the business idea. I don't see it now these days, but this was before my son was born. And him and I, we went to this business consulting place. This is way, way back in the day. I was only 20, 21. And I took him to a business consultant place, and I asked my parents to help us out and everything, because I believed in his idea. And I had an ex. Clearly, I've had a few boyfriends, but I had an ex before, and I said to him, I was going to school and everything, and I said to him, you know what, I want to start my own business. And he was like, well, you really should just, do this and do that. And I was like, no, 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 I'm going to start my own business. And I did. I went to New Jersey and I bought a whole bunch of oils from a place called Heaven Sent Fragrances from a guy named Salim Abdul Salam. He was a black American guy that converted to Islam. I found him on the internet. This is when the internet first started. We only had the internet in our homes for like 6 months at the time. Okay, this is when we had ICQ, and I think it was even before MSN Messenger. You remember ICQ? Is that what it was called? I forget. Anyway, I found him online, and I went and I booked a trip, went all the way, and I stayed in a place called the Marriott Courtyard, and it was $300 for the weekend. I remember how much it was. I took a plane all the way to New York alone. This man did not believe in me. His name starts with a J. Hopefully he's listening to this. But he did not believe in me. And he's like, oh, who's going to buy oils from you? We don't. At that time, the oils were not prevalent in Canada. But these perfume oils that they were selling in America were something that we weren't selling in Canada yet. And I was like, I don't know. There's just something about these oils. And I believed in myself without his support. I booked a flight without telling him. I went all the way to New York on my own. I was like 20. My son was like maybe 5 at the time, and he's 26 now, right? So I went all the way to New York on a flight, and this guy met me, and it was nothing emotional, nothing, romantic. Him and his friend took me all the way around New York and New Jersey. This guy, Salim Abdul Salam, I forget what his American name was, but he gave me incense that he was making an oil himself, and they still don't do that stuff in Canada unless they are Rastafarian, right? But he was showing me some stuff, and I took all my oils and I went back to Canada, and those oils I put into carrier oils, and I sold them to stores in Canada. Franchise stores. There's one called Shoppers Drug Mart, which is a big pharmacy store, and they used to sell candles. I used to put those oils inside candles. I would go to the dollar store and I would get wax in bulk because I just was trying out different recipes, and I would put the oils inside the wax, and I made like 3 wick candles. I bought wicks online, okay, like wicks. And I would put them in, and I learned how to make candles with these oils. And this is how I became a business owner. And this dude just sat back and watched me. And he was like, wow, are you sure? And then you know what he said to me? Are you sure you didn't have a romantic relationship with that guy in America? That's what he said to me. Instead of saying to me, I'm so proud of you, babe. Look, you just started a whole business. At that point, I was selling $600 a week to these people once I got those oils, concentrated oils. Okay. After that, I said to myself, this guy is not for me. This guy right now is very wealthy. Okay. At the time, he wasn't. Right now, he's very wealthy. He does very good for himself. He's a writer, and he does very well for himself. He also has a very popular YouTube channel. But I'm not going to say his name because I would never call him out. But he didn't support me. And I supported him in every single thing he did. And I believed in him and every single thing he did. And I even inspired him. And the first the first article that he got published for a certain magazine that he still writes for, I gave him the title for it. I listened to he's a writer as well. And I listened to everything. But you know what I gained from him? Knowledge. Even though he didn't support me, I still gained knowledge, and I still enjoyed whatever, relationship we had. But I ended up leaving him. And the reason why I left him was because he didn't believe in me. When it came to my intuition and doing readings and stuff like that, I said to him, I want to go work on the radio. I want to, I want to do things. I want to be on TV and everything. And you know what? We broke up as I left him. And then I contacted the radio station. It was a black radio station in Canada, the only black radio station in the whole Canada. It was called Flow 93.5 FM. And I contacted, and at that moment, there was an American, I forget what it's called, station programmer, right? The guy that programs all the shows. His name was Kevin Fox. He was brand new at the station, brand new in Canada. And he was there for 2 weeks. And I was doing exercises. I used to be very fit. And I was doing exercises on my floor. And I was, just meditating as I was doing some sit-ups. And I was talking to God. And I felt like God said to me, child, I heard, like, not a voice, but just guidance. God said, child, contact the radio station right now, because the radio was playing in the background. And so I contacted them, and I'm like, hi. And I said, I have a show idea. Never ever went to school for broadcasting at all. And they were like, oh, you have a show idea, do you? Here, just call the program director. That's what he was, the program director. So I was like, okay. Contacted the program director. The program director answered the phone. And he's like, hello? Again, his name's Kevin Fox. He answers the phone. He's like, hello? And I'm like, hey, Kevin, my name is Cerise Fairfax, and I have a show idea. And he's like, okay. And he's like, what's your show idea? And I said, okay, well, I don't know. And I was stuck for words, and I didn't know what to say. And I was like, tell me when your birthday is. And he told me his birthday. He was a Libra. And I read him on the phone. I just gave him a whole reading right on the phone, just like that. And he was like, wow, you must be really fun at parties. And I'm like, yes, I am. I was only young, right? I'm maybe 28 years old. I don't know. Right? And I said, yes, I am. I'm fun at parties. So what do you think? And he's like, do me a favor. Write me a proposal and send it to me. Email it to me. I never wrote a proposal before in my life. I didn't know what it was. So I Googled proposal. And then I realized, you know what? I'm just going to write a proposal based on the who, when, what, where, why, and how. And so I wrote a 6-page proposal. I didn't realize it only had to be 1 page. I wrote a 6-page proposal and emailed it to him. Who I am, what I can do for the radio, how I'm going to do it, why, blah, 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 blah. And I increased those ratings so much that when they got rid of the morning show, after I was with them for 5 years, they kept me on the morning show. Okay, they fired the morning show and kept me on. And I was not even part of the morning show. I was just one of the, people that would come in during the morning show to do a couple of segments. Do a segment. Every Wednesday I would go in from 6 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock in the morning. I was on there once a week with the morning show. The morning show was on 5 days a week. And they hired me immediately. After I sent him that proposal, he's like, can you come in and sit down and speak to the morning show? That same boyfriend did not support me at all. And I was like, no, I got to get rid of that 0. He's not my hero. And that's what happens, ladies, when you have, and I'm not an alpha female. Like I said before on one of my live to airs, I said it seemed a lot of people think I'm an extrovert because I'm so out there, and I'm very, not bold, but I'm very open and very confident. But I'm what you would call a Sigma female. If you guys look it up, I actually just started a brand new channel last night based upon the 6 personality types. And right now I just have up the 1 alpha female. I plan to release the videos, one tomorrow and then another one the next day on the different personalities. And I'm also going to do them on the male personalities as well. The new channel is called Sorosity. It's not even a word. I made up the word last night. I was like, God, I want to call my channel something different because I need a name that if someone looks it up, there's not going to be anyone else that's going to come up and then my channel gets put down to the bottom. Right? So I was thinking, and then I was like, I need a name, like a word that sounds good and is not in the dictionary and nobody knows. I need to make up my own word. And I did. Sorosity. Sirosity. And that's my new channel name, Sorosity. I have 1 subscriber, or maybe 2. And I think I'm the subscriber to my channel. I have like 1 view, and I think I'm the view of that video. But that's just what a businesswoman does. And And I have Sister Cerise that I created a few months ago, and it's growing as well. Sister Cerise, if you guys look up Sister Cerise, Cerise, you'll see that that's growing as well. And I do my readings on that channel. Finally, I had a moment of brilliance, and I'm like, why don't I just do a YouTube channel of me, like, doing my horoscopes and doing readings, like what I love to do. That's what I do as a soul coach. And why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I offer it more on a wider scale? Especially now that I have this channel and I have a lot more viewers on this channel and I have a lot more subscribers on this channel. I think it only makes sense to do something like that. Let me see some of these right here. Queen, Big Dave, Flow 93 wasn't the first black radio channel in Canada. The original one in Halifax. Well, I don't know. Flow 93.5 was the first well-known one with the CRTC. So maybe that was college radio in Halifax, but it wasn't really well known. The second one was called, it's still going right now. 93.5 is not urban any longer. It was bought over, but there's another one called G right now in Canada, right? But it wasn't recognized. Maybe I'm mistaken. Okay, I mean, there's not a lot of black radio stations in Canada at all. It's not like America, right? Maybe I'm mistaken because I am one of those people where I'm Torontonian, and we think that Toronto is everything. We think Toronto is Canada. That's the ignorance behind people in Toronto. We think that everything revolves around Toronto and Montreal and stuff, right? We think everything is the epicenter is Toronto. So maybe it's just my own ignorance. But yeah, and I apologize if I'm mistaken, but if the first black radio station was in Halifax, that makes sense too, because as I said on a previous live to air, that's where a lot of my people are from. That's where my that's where my heritage is based, in Halifax, where the black slaves from America who fought with they're called black nationalists, that fought with the Brits. What happened was the Brits went to America to fight America for that land, and the British said to the blacks, listen, you're slaves right now. You have nothing to lose. If you come and you fight with us, we will give you land here in America if we all win. And if not, then we'll give you land in Canada. And obviously America won and the Brits lost, and so the Brits gave the black slaves land. They kept their promise, and they gave them the land in Nova Scotia. And so that's where a lot of my family, my black ancestry, my black heritage comes from. But my black ancestry is from Africa. So yeah, I can see that there would be the first black radio station, but it wasn't as popular as Flow 93.5. Flow 93.5 was the black radio station, and we were mimicking what was that? We used to listen to the black music in Toronto, like I say black music, but I mean R&B, right? From what was it called? Not 93.5, but 95.3, I think. 93.5, 95.3 FM. And we used to have to put our antenna a certain way and put tinfoil on the antenna in order to get Buffalo. It was a Buffalo channel, right? And we would be able to get the channel from Buffalo. And then, bam, Toronto opened up, and I was one of the first people on the radio there. And so I guess we were the pioneers, and it was great. And now it's been bought over by mainstream. But I mean, this is not about radio, and this is not about me right now and all that. All I'm saying is when I'm speaking to you ladies, I'm speaking to you from a very good point of view. I'm speaking to you because I'm saying to you, don't fight with these men. Don't argue with these men. Be a queen. Like Big Dave just said, you want to be treated like a queen, you have to be a queen. You really do. And what is a queen? A queen is a woman that understands her man. She doesn't fight with her man over small things. She bites her tongue. Okay, he left his socks on the floor. Pick them up. You're walking by them. Pick them up. Like, pick them up. You can say something to him about it, but you don't need to fight with him about it. You can say, hey, babe, but do it nicely and do it sweetly. Trust me, I'm not perfect. I'm pretty sure I had some doozies, but I'm almost 50 right now, ladies. And I didn't have anyone to tell me to do this because my mom just automatically did everything, right, for my dad. And so I didn't have anyone to tell me. But when it was time for me to be in a relationship and I saw that these men were not like my dad, I was like, please, they're nothing. Like, what's wrong with these men? And I realized they just don't have the same personality as my dad. And I needed to love them for who they were and whatever their personality was, whether it was alpha, beta, gamma, omega, delta, or sigma. It doesn't matter what their personality was. Not every man is an alpha, ladies. And you may be with a beta, a man that is perceived as weak, but he's not really weak. In his alone time, he's probably a very deep thinker. And he probably will be so loyal to you that you will never have to worry about being hurt. I don't know. When my client said to me the other day, oh my gosh, he paid for only my meal and he went all the way 40 minutes to her to pick her up, 20 minutes back to the restaurant, 20 minutes back to drop her off, and then 40 minutes back to his place. And he was a good date. So I suggested to her, this is what I said to her as a soul coach. I was like, listen, give him another date. Don't hate on him because he didn't pay for your drinks. He paid for your food still. He paid for all the gas. He paid for the parking. Downtown Toronto is very expensive to park in, like $20 for parking, and then he paid for the food. The food was expensive too. And she's like, yeah, but he has a nice car. And I'm like, okay, is it paid off? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, what year is it? It's a 2019. Chances are it's not paid off. What kind of car is it? Mercedes-Benz. Chances are it is not paid off. Okay. And chances are it could be leased. Chances are he's making monthly payments, maintenance, gas. Come on now. Like, you want to ride around in Mercedes-Benz, you better just be happy with your McDonald's, okay? If you're looking for image, then cook at home. Go to the grocery store, buy yourself a nice big steak for your man and cook it for him and post that up on Instagram, because that is how you're going to get accolades from that king. If he is taking care of himself by buying himself really nice things and has enough respect to pick you up, respect to pick you up from where you are, and going way out of his way to do it, and not telling you to meet him downtown Toronto, then he's a gentleman, and you got to cut him some slack. In my opinion, cut that man some slack. He deserves love. He's a gentleman, and of course, no man is perfect. But I will say this: at times, you do have to treat him even sweeter. If you're home with the kids, surprise him. Put the kids to bed a little early. Or, even if you're sitting on the couch with the kids and they're, watching TV, fix yourself up. Look the way you did when you got with them. Especially women that gain a lot of weight during their relationship. After they have the kids, they stop taking care of themselves. He did not marry you looking like that. So you can't say, he doesn't tell me that I look good any longer, because he's not as attracted to your body. He's waiting for you to get back to where he was when he met you. He's waiting for you to get back to how you looked when he met you. That's the woman he fell in love with. He didn't sign up for a woman 50 pounds heavier. He liked you the way you were. This may be a serious, hot, sensitive topic, but guess what? I know, because I had a man that got with me when I, was a little overweight, and he was dealing with me, but I mean, he said to me, he's like, I think you are pretty. I'm so attracted to you. But wouldn't you want to be thinner? And I was like, yes, absolutely. You know? And he was right. Who wants to be overweight and not take care of themselves? Right? So I'm just saying to you ladies, take care of yourself, take care of your man. If you want to be a queen and considered a queen, it's not just a word, it is an action, it is a lifestyle, it is a state of mind. You have to do for you like there is no man around you doing for you. You have to do for him like what his mama would do and love it just like his mama would. And guess what? He will love you and he will treat you so fine. I'm telling you, when a woman starts nagging, just like the Bible says, you are pretty much, let me see. Oh, there's no more comments right now, but I guess you guys are listening. Thank you. But you know, when you are complaining and you are arguing and you are fighting with your man, you are putting yourself in a position that is much lower than where you should be. You can be a queen 100%. You don't need to be beautiful, you don't need to be fit, you don't need to be anything except kind and cool and considerate and compassionate to your man. Inspire him, help that man fly, give him the ability to feel like he is doing so much for you that no other man can do that. You know, rub him on the head like he's a genie. Like, why not? You will see something come out of the bottle that's amazing. You'll be like, wow, that's my man right there. Brag about him in front of him. You don't know what that does to a man when you're sitting there, and instead of saying, oh yeah, he never takes out the garbage, or he never does this, instead of doing that, say, you know what, he may not take out the garbage, but I really love when he does this or when he does that. You know, and I bet you any money he'll start taking out that garbage. Like nobody's business when you get home that night. He will. Men need direction. Men need inspiration. Men need love. Men need a little bit more than what we are giving them. The ladies here in the Dominican Republic break it off really well, and I see it. They give the most perfect girlfriend experience, and these guys keep coming back for more. They can't stay away from here. Because why? They're being treated like kings. And they're paying for it. They pay for it. They don't mind paying for it. Just like a husband would. Go out and work 18 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day, even if it's only 9 or 8 hours a day. They still will work for their woman if they feel like their woman appreciates it. I don't know what to say. If you are not in a relationship where you are giving your man everything, then Yo Yayo said, La Follette, I can't believe you just said women need to get off the biscuits and gravy. I don't know what that means. I'm Canadian, but I guess that means the food. Us women need to take care of our bodies. We really do. Men are visual beings and emotional beings. They really need to see something. When they have a woman that is like, wow, they're like, wow, you know, and then not only that, they're emotional. You know, they're very sensitive. Men are so special. Men are so special. Us ladies, we are rough and tough and all that stuff. Like, you look at an alpha woman, and she would be even stronger than an alpha male. I'm sorry. When you see a woman on a bike and she's like nailing together a house and she's doing this and she's doing that and she's an alpha, she's a force to be reckoned with, right? But if she's not taking care of herself, then, and she's allowing herself to fall to the wayside, and she's not the woman that he met any longer, then it might be time for her to start focusing on becoming that woman again that first attracted him. You know, my mom said to me one day, After I had my daughter, I gained 100 pounds when I had my daughter, and then I gained 80 pounds when I had my son. And, I didn't feel very attractive. Like right now, I'm overweight as well, but that's a whole other different story. That has nothing to do with children. It just has to do with getting to menopause and having to exercise more and walking more as opposed to taking a motor control everywhere. I know how to do it. But in any case, my mom said to me, because I said to her, I went to her and I was crying. And I said, I don't feel like, my child's father loves me any longer. And my mom said, Cerise, look at you. You're overweight, sweetheart. I'm sorry to say, but even your look has changed. You're a beautiful girl. You need to take better care of yourself. And if he does not love you for who you are, you find another man better than him. And I did. I lost that weight. As soon as my mom told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, she's right. And it was true. And I did lose that weight. And that man was begging for me afterwards. And I was like, no, it just wasn't supposed to work. But still, I did find better men after him, way better. But my mom was not saying to me that I was nothing because I was overweight. It's not that. All she was saying to me was, you are not the same woman you now than you were before you got pregnant. Like if you're with someone and they put on 100 pounds, they're a whole different person. They're not the same person you fell in love with. And it's not to say that someone's in love with your heart, or your pretty face. No, we have a certain taste in life as human beings, right? And it's our responsibility to take care of ourselves. And that's that. I mean, some men are attracted to bigger women, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. If you met your woman when she was big, and that's how you love her, and you love her, then love her, and that's it, right? I'm not saying anything about that. But if you're a woman and, you're not taking care of yourself, and after the kids, you're still not taking care of yourself, and you are the one that knows. Women know. Women feel it inside. I felt it inside. Women feel it inside when they feel like, my husband's not desiring me any longer, or my boyfriend's not desiring me any longer. Yo, I don't think you really know men at all. I think you judge on your own experience, good or bad, right or wrong. You know what? I know human nature. And I think a good man, yo, does want to be inspired. A good man does want to be encouraged. A good man does want a woman to take care of herself. A good man does want to be supported. A good man doesn't want all the weight on his shoulders. A good man does not want to be put down, emasculated, and made to feel like he's not doing his best. I think humanity in general, okay, love is the way, is what guides us. And love is the only thing that can really make us feel like we are somebody worthy. If you want to be somebody worthy, you want to be somebody who, hold on one second, guys. Marcial says, she's speaking the truth. Some women out there are very selfish and considerate. Preach, Cerise. Thank you. There's some women out there getting some good men, really good men. And then they're so ungrateful. And then they ruin that man. And then how many men always on my live to airs or even clients that I have say women just don't appreciate. And I can't deny that. I can't say that they're lying. I'm like, you know what? I hear it a lot. And I'm like, a lot of women don't appreciate it. I had a woman contact me last Christmas, my client for 10 years. I'm a soul coach for those of you who don't know. client for 10 years, and she was with this man for 5 years. For 5 years before that, we were just working on her personality, on her character, trying to get a man for her. Finally, she gets this man, and bam, we're working, we're working, we're working, we're working. And then at Christmas time, he got on his knee and he asked her to marry him in front of the whole entire family. Just like that. And she said yes. She was so excited. She said yes. She put the ring on. She contacts me the next day with an appointment and says he doesn't love me as much as I thought he did. And I'm like, why? And she said, look at the size of this ring. Look at this diamond. This is cheap. I don't even know if it's a real diamond. It was small. It was a small diamond. But you know what? It was a ring. And it was what he could afford. And it was the symbol of him, the symbol of his love, the symbol of what he was doing. As a man, he was putting it on to her finger, you know. Hold on. 5 minutes. Sorry. So these guys are going to turn the music up now. It's getting really dark, and so I have to go. But, you know, I just want to say, I'm going to do a part 2 to this. And I do want to speak to the women, because I want women to know it's not about the size of the diamond. It's not about the size of the home. It's not about the make of the car. It's not about the money that's in the bank. It's about the man's heart and the man's love and respect for you. Never judge a man's worth on what he has. Judge it upon his character. There are some very good men out there, and those men will let you know how good they are just by the love that they give you. Sorry, I'm gonna get off right now. So I do want to say this, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and sorry I was late. And yes, I am judging upon my experiences. I don't know who else's experiences I would be able to speak upon. We can only speak for ourselves. And so I'm speaking upon the men that I know. And the men that I know are quite awesome. And the men that I see here, and the men that I know from America, and the men that I know from Canada and Italy and Africa and China and France and so Jamaica. Of course, I know a lot of Jamaican men from Canada and everything. Just any man I know is beautiful, whether he plays a guitar for a living, or whether he builds a house, or whether he does financial banking for people, like a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, or someone that is working on an assembly line 9 to 5. He's a man, and he has a mother that loved him, or maybe didn't, but he's still a human being that loves you. So that means that you should really try to understand him without putting him down. Be better with your man. Let's not ruin these men out there. You know, us ladies, we're very strong. We have very strong characters. Whether you are a beta female or an alpha female, it doesn't matter what type of personality you have. You are still a woman that can love your man like nobody else can. So let's start doing that, please, ladies. Some men are killing themselves. Some men are doing all kinds of stuff to themselves. Some men don't even feel like they can express themselves because they're so emasculated, so shy, so nervous. They just want to be the man because they think the man is being tough. No, there's nothing more beautiful than a man crying and expressing himself and saying what he's hurt about. When I see a man cry, oh my gosh, all I want to do is hold him. You know, all I want to do is say, come here, and put his head on my shoulder. But I don't right away. I let him cry because I don't want to shut him up. I don't want to hand him a napkin and be like, oh, here now. No, I let him cry. And especially my guy friends, or even my guy clients. My guy friends, they cry and cry and cry. And then I nod. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm quiet. I don't speak over them. I don't say anything. I just let them cry. And sometimes they just cry harder and longer. And then they calm down. They wipe their tears away like this. And they go, Whew. They breathe and they're good. And then I give them a hug. Or I just touch them on their hand and I'm like, don't worry, I got you. You know? If they're my friend or if they're my whoever. The most sensitive people that I know are men. I hang around dudes more than anything else. So I just want to say, guys, I'm going to go now because I do have to go. It's dark here, and I thank Cheers Bar. I want to shout Cheers Bar out for allowing me to ask them to turn the music down. Now they can turn the music back up. I'm going to do a part 2. You guys think about what I said. I'm not beating women up. I'm building men up. Okay, I'm not putting women down. I am trying to build some type of an understanding that we need to appreciate our men. We're losing them, and they're beautiful. My gosh, they're beautiful beings. Like, women and men are two different species, but the male species has so much to offer if you just dig a little bit deeper into it, ladies, and not expect them to serve you, but to be with you, coexist with you. Men are not here to serve you. Men are not here to tell you that you look pretty. Men are not here to serve you with all the stuff of your desires. They will do that automatically when you build them up. Don't tear them down. All right? We're going to be doing some more of this in the future. Tomorrow I'm going to be at Velvet Cafe. Please come by if you are here. Velvet Cafe is just up the street on Pedro Clisante. Woman owns it, and she is a strong woman that builds her man up, and her man builds her up. They're both Dominican American. Well, the woman, Vanessa, she's from Brooklyn, like born in Brooklyn, but her dad was the first professional baseball player ever in Sosua. I don't want to say in the Dominican Republic because I'm not sure of that, but I don't know how many professional baseball players came out of Sosua. So all I can say is from Sosua. But tomorrow I'm going to sit down with him, hopefully, if he's available, at 5 o'clock at Velvet Cafe, and I want to talk to this true Dominican man who was a professional baseball player. So join me tomorrow. I'm going to go live to air 5 o'clock from Velvet Cafe, and then 6 o'clock karaoke starts. It's going to be a special night, and you guys can come, and it's going to be awesome. I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to get some really cheap rum, and you can buy 2 bottles for 1,700 pesos, 2 large bottles for 1,700 pesos, and you can just sit around the tables with your friends. It's going to be an amazing night. I invite you guys out personally. I love you so much. Huge hugs, loads of love, big blesses. You guys are awesome for listening to me today as I ramble on. Please take a moment to subscribe and hit that like button. And also go check out my other 2 channels. The other one is Sister Cerise, where I do readings and all that stuff, and horoscopes, daily horoscopes. And the other one I just started yesterday, so it's called Sirosity, Sirosity. And it's just about personalities, the 6 personalities. And it's only to help you guys understand humanity. Take care, everyone. I love you.